Today, we're diving into a mysterious and fascinating story, so strange, it feels like fiction. But it actually happened, and even the serious British newspaper The Guardian sent reporters to investigate it. When this story broke in Sri Lanka, it shocked the entire country. So, what is this story? It's about a president who may have been reincarnated. Sri Lanka is a beautiful island nation just below India. It's home to around 22 million people, most of whom are Buddhists. In Buddhism, the idea of rebirth, living many lives, is not only accepted, it's a core belief. Now, our story begins in a poor farming village in central Sri Lanka. On September 2nd, 1997, a baby boy named Sampath was born into the Weeabahu family. His parents were simple farmers. But as Sampath grew up, they realized something was different. At just over 1 year old, this toddler told his parents he didn't like his last name, Weeabahu. That was odd. But what happened next was even stranger. From the age of 2, every single morning at 3 a.m., Sampath would wake up on his own and start praying like a monk. He'd sit cross-legged, eyes closed, hands together, chanting. No one taught him. No alarm clock. Just instinct. One day, Sampath's father gave him a coin to buy candy. But when Sampath looked at the coin, he stopped. He pointed at the face printed on it and said, "That's me." The face on the coin? It was Ranasinghe Premadasa, the third president of Sri Lanka. Let's call him President Premadasa. President Premadasa was born in 1924 in the capital, Colombo. He rose from humble beginnings to become Sri Lanka's third president in 1989. He was known for his strict rule and for being both powerful and controversial. But his story ended in tragedy. On May 1st, 1993, during a May Day parade, a man on a bicycle rode up close to the president and detonated a bomb strapped to his body. President Premadasa and 25 of his bodyguards were killed. Over 60 others were injured. That was the end, or so people thought. Now here was a 3-year-old boy in a tiny village claiming that he used to be President Premadasa, and he said it with confidence. People were stunned. From January 1999, Sri Lankan newspapers began reporting on the reincarnated president. And that's when The Guardian picked up the story too. Sampath's father shared several shocking details with reporters. The boy looked just like young Premadasa and had a very similar short temper. He woke up every morning at 3 a.m. to pray, just like Premadasa reportedly did. Sampath recognized the coin with Premadasa's face on it and said, "That's me." He also remembered his past life's wife and children. He would sometimes mutter to himself while playing, "I am Premadasa. My wife is Hema. I have a son and a daughter." Even more shocking? When Sampath was taken to the capital and met Premadasa's old friends, he recognized many of them and called them by name. These grown men were left speechless. Sampath also claimed he remembered how he died. He said a man named Babu killed him during a parade. That was the name of the man who assassinated President Premadasa. How could a toddler know that? Some skeptics thought the parents may have coached him. But the family never supported Premadasa's political party and didn't even vote for him. They didn't want this story to be true. In fact, they were scared. Why? Because President Premadasa had made many enemies. The family feared someone might try to harm the boy, or even take him away. But this isn't the only story like this. Professor Erlendur Haraldsson, a researcher from Iceland, studied many Sri Lankan children who seemed to remember past lives, especially those of Buddhist monks. One boy, Duminda, said he used to be a monk named Ganapana. He described the red car he drove, his pet elephant, his fellow monks and where they lived. Even how he died, he said he felt chest pain and passed away. Every detail matched the life of a real monk who had died years earlier. Duminda even refused to play with other children, preferred chanting Buddhist verses, and told his mother not to touch him, because monks are not supposed to be touched by women. Another boy, Reuven Pereira, born in 1987, said he had lived in a temple with a monkey statue and that he had been a monk. He wouldn't eat after noon, wore robes like a monk, and wouldn't even sleep next to his mother because Buddhist monks live in celibacy. When his family took him to the temple he mentioned, he immediately pointed out the monkey statue, which was hidden in a corner. These stories are not rare in Sri Lanka, where belief in rebirth is common. But for scientists and skeptics, such cases are difficult to explain. After all, how does a toddler know names, places, and faces he's never seen, act like an old monk or a political leader, recall how he died? Professor Haraldsson concluded. Their behavior is just too unusual to ignore. Apart from reincarnation, we have no real explanation.
Subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss what's coming next. Share it, because some stories are meant to be discovered together. And stay curious. I'll see you in the next chapter.